Okay, I'm ready. Are my glasses straight? Are you sure? Okay, cool. I look cool? Because if I look embarrassing, it's embarrassing for you too, man. But anyway, love you. Anyway, is it recording? Is the red dot on? Okay, cool. Anyway, let's start the show. Okay. What up, everybody? I'm Brian Willis, and welcome to another episode of Gloves Off ZW. If you've got any business that you'd like to have with us, our email will be scrolling right at the bottom there in certain intervals, maybe once every 5 minutes or so, or something like that. And we got t-shirts for sale, and we got a new batch coming in beginning of February. So next episode I will probably be introducing you to the new design. I would love to give you a clue on what the design is all about, but in the meantime we still have the old design. Okay, $15 a pop, so you know what to do. Yeah, anyway, let's start with the show. So for those of you that have been following international news, you would have known 50 Cent recently gave us a glimpse of his new look. This is just after he's done his grand tour. I think it was called the Final Lap or something like that, only for him to say to us it wasn't his final lap. He's actually dropping a new album, and he's going to be teaming up with Dr. Dre. Now, knowing 50 Cent the way I do and how petty that dude is, could he be dropping a new album because Ja Rule said he's dropping a new album? I don't know, but knowing 50 Cent, it's highly likely. But anyway, that's not the reason why I want to talk about 50 Cent today. The reason why I want to talk about 50 Cent is his photos got a lot of his fans worried because there was a serious weight loss about 50 Cent. In fact, dude lost about 43 pounds. Dude was about 253 and he went down to 210 pounds or something like that, so he said. Now, a lot of people thought that he's being healthy. In fact, I was one of the people who thought he was being healthy, but a lot of other people actually thought that he's going through some sort of health issue or he's taking a drug. People actually thought that he's taking a drug which has made the rounds, making people lose weight, and the drug is called Ozempic, and it's a drug that is used by people with type 2 diabetes, and weight loss is one of the side effects that this drug has. In fact, the drug is making the rounds because of this, instead of the purpose of treating type 2 diabetes. Now, of course, 50 Cent had to take to his Instagram to let people know that no, this wasn't the case. He wasn't on any Ozempic or any medication. He was simply just working hard in the gym. He was doing a lot of running as well because he says he wants to go back to the old him. And he also said he took inspiration from when he got hit back in the days. So for those of you who don't know, 50 got attacked in front of his grandmama's house where he got shot 9 times. I mean, if you know 50 Cent and you've been listening to his music, then you would know this by now. I mean, I got shot 9 times and I'm still breathing. Living proof. No, that's Tupac. 50 Cent says, now it's clear that I'm here for a real reason. Because he got hit like I got hit, but he ain't effing breathing. Yeah, I know my lyrics, so relax. He's saying that he wants to get fit because he just doesn't know he might get attacked again. And based on the trajectory that 50 Cent has been on when it comes to talking about a lot of controversial stuff, including the P. Diddy's and them, I wouldn't be surprised why he's now all of a sudden a bit jumpy about his health and getting fit again. Because a lot of you know 50 Cent was at his fattest when he did the Super Bowl halftime performance with my favorite white boy, Eminem, and he was hanging upside down trying to relive the, get rich or die trying days with the video in the club where he's upside down and whatnot. And I feel sorry for the bars that were holding him up because, yeesh, dude was big. Now, of course, people, when they saw this, they were busy making fun of the dude online. I mean, I couldn't help but laugh. But somebody said 50 Cent is now a quarter. Anyway, we need to be serious about these things because I also got scared because if you remember Chadwick Boseman, there were pictures of him where he was really dramatically thin soon after the whole Avengers saga, Black Panther, and blah, blah, blah. And dude was tremendously thin. And People thought that the guy was preparing for a role, only for us to find out that dude was secretly suffering from colon cancer. So I got a little bit worried, and I really hope that 50 Cent statement where he says he's just running and keeping fit is the actual reason why he's losing weight, because 50 is one of my favorite rappers, and we don't want to see a dude go out like that again. We've already seen Chadwick go out like that, and I also hope he's not losing weight for a role again, because there was a time when he lost weight for a role and he looked like that, and it did not end well for him because nobody actually watched that movie. Like, what's the movie called? Do you even... I never watched the movie. Nobody watched the movie. So 50, please, please, yeah, get well soon if you are sick. If you're not, glad to have you, champ, and keep on winning the way that you are always winning. And as for Ja Rule, please just let the dude go, man. Come on, man. I'm sure the guy is sorry for the beef that he caused, back in the day. Thank you. Let's move on in life. And as we move on, let's also move on to the next topic. Also making international news, we got the hit singer Taylor Swift, who has made the rounds after AI images of her leaked. And these AI images were of her in extremely compromising positions. Obviously, I'm not going to share the images here. I mean, they're just distasteful. They're disgusting. We don't even know why somebody would do that to her. It is just ridiculous. Anyway, all that being said, I actually never knew that Taylor Swift had such a loyal fan base. I mean, we know of Beyonce and the Beehive. I mean, say anything about Queen Bee and see what happens to you. And then we also know of the Stan, Eminem's fan. I'm one of them. I mean, Eminem's fans are so loyal. If you do a diss track for Eminem, Eminem will not respond to you because all his stans will diss you with the lyrical capabilities of Eminem himself. But I never knew that Taylor Swift had such a following, and these guys are actually called the Swifties. I mean, these Swifties, they are so serious when it comes to causing an effect that they got the guys that were sharing these videos and images, they got their accounts suspended. Before their accounts got suspended, the guys locked their accounts because they were getting so much hate, and people were digging up personal information on all these guys that were sharing this information. In fact, it got so serious that right now, I don't know if it's still in effect as to the point that you watched this video, but if you search for Taylor Swift on Twitter, it will just act like nothing is going on. It'll just act like you have no data. I mean, for one point, I thought maybe, my bundle is finished, but then I realized if I search for anything else, it would show up. Almost all the images are now off. You can't even find any of them. And this just goes to show that, when people move in numbers, they can really, really make a difference. And truth be told, X was not really fast enough when it came to removing these images of AI gone rogue. This is probably because when Elon became CEO of X, he removed a lot or reduced the number of content moderators on the platform. Shout out to the Swifties for that action that they took. But if I were the Swifties, my advice to them would be, in their millions, to just log off X, log off Instagram, log off whatever platform is being lazy when it comes to removing these images, so that the investors of the platform, they get worried. Because if those numbers drop for over a week, those guys will act swift, no pun intended, but they will act swiftly once they see those numbers drop. Because if you want to get at these corporates, the best way is to get at their bottom line, their core source of income, and you guys have the numbers to do that. But well done to y'all, and also well done to X. You guys seem to be taking some sort of action. But it also brings the question now about AI. What are we doing to make sure that AI stays within the parameters of fair use without, I mean, imagine what Taylor Swift is going through right now. Because some of those images were just downright nasty. They were just terrible. Her and her boyfriend, who's some football team player, it's just repulsive why people would think that is funny in any way. I mean, just because you think that it's a famous person, she deserves to be ridiculed or whatever. I really hope Taylor Swift takes the action that she says she wants to take and sue these people, because in all honesty, I really don't think it's fair that these people should do this. And I think a lot more regulations need to be put up there when it comes to, cyber safety acts and stuff like that, because these people hide behind anonymity, and this is how a lot of them get away. But I just one person needs to be made an example of, and then we'll be good. Same that. Uita marigo masina wa. Martin, who's the one? Panapa mdara, panapa. We have panapa. We have panapa. We have mira. Who's the one?
Oh, all right.
Yeah, can I use a phone number? It's a phone number.
Alright.
So he's selling these nice jackets. Yeah, they're actually quite nice. How much?
10 years.
10 USD for these jackets, college jackets and whatnot. Yeah, they're actually quite nice. If I want your number, give them your number.
084
0784 30 70 22.
Okay.
And the name is Mafunde. Yes. Get his jackets, guys. Call him up to Tampa Boss.
And
eat a pot.
That's okay.
All right.
Cool.
What is your marasta airport? Like I said, not having a studio can be a problem, but it can also be a blessing for some people. You better buy his jackets. Don't make me look like an idiot, okay? Thank you. And we're back, and now today's movie for the movie recommendation is The Beekeeper, featuring Jason Statham as Adam Clay. Now, this movie has been making the rounds, and what really got my attention on this movie was it got 94% on Rotten Tomatoes. 94%. Like, the only content that I'm seeing that reaches 94% on Rotten Tomatoes is content from Korea. The Koreans, they are the guys, when it comes to their series, when it comes to their movies, they're the guys that are bringing out content that's like 94%, and you watch it and you're like, yeah, this is really 94%. It's worth it, because those guys are just spectacular. So that got me curious. So well done, Rotten Tomatoes, for making me curious with that figure. Because of that 94%, I decided to go and watch that movie, right? And I watched the movie. Now, believe it or not, 94% was actually not a ridiculous rating. Okay, this was actually an audience rating. It wasn't the critic rating. I think on the critic rating I got something like 80 something, but 94, it's not ridiculous. It's actually quite fair, a little generous, but not ridiculous. So why is the movie called The Beekeeper? Well, yeah, the guy went through some sort of off-record, cryptic government thing whereby they are called the beekeepers, and they're just these specially trained dudes who are there to fix things when the rules are broken. And his background is a little bit cryptic, because the more cryptic it is, the more mysterious it is, and the more mysterious it is, the more intriguing it is, and the more intriguing it is, the more you get curious to want to know, what's this guy about? It always has that mystery about him, and they did that very well. So he actually takes up beekeeping in his retirement, because he's retired, because somehow, millions of insects with sharp spears coming out of their butt actually calm him down, or the beekeeping aspect of it is part of the program. I don't know, but I don't know what the link is between him being called a beekeeper and him actually doing beekeeping. So it's neither here or there, but it's I'll think of it. So anyway, the story goes like this. During his retirement, he starts working on a farm as a beekeeper, and he develops this mother and son relationship with this lady on the farm, the beautiful Felicia Rashad. You probably remember her from Cosby, the Cosby Show. And she falls victim to cybercrime, and she was in charge of, an account that had $2 million in it and whatnot, and they managed to get to that account, and it gets zeroed out. That leads to another thing, which leads to another thing, which leads to Statham, Adam Clay, going on a revenge streak, going up the corporate ladder as he gets to pay or to revenge the mother that he never had. Because we all know, he says that he was never really taken care of, ever, actually. I mean, one of those mysterious things from the past, yeah? Action-wise, it's pretty much John Wick meets Sisu meets Steven Seagal, because this man is a one-man army. And I kid you not. Oh, by the way, did you know that in a hive, when a queen bee is producing inferior bees, there are actually bees whose purpose would be to kill that or unalive that queen and get a new queen in so that she produces proper offspring, which now ties into the beekeeping and, you know, him being a beekeeper. Yeah, there's the tie-in, because in this whole thing, he's moving up the corporate ladder and he's just getting rid of the rot by himself. Action-wise, it does not disappoint, although there were glaring strategic loopholes where the CIA and the FBI agents were concerned, and there was a huge conflict of interest that these people decided not to focus on. But, and there's also that whole thing where people are firing fully automatic weapons, and like, you got 15, 16 people aiming at one target. No one hits anything. No one hits him or anything like that. But I forgave this simply because of the captivating revenge plot that this movie was based on. The premise of the whole movie, for me, because we all have loved ones that had, you know, that have been scammed or taken for granted, or, you know, people just don't know how to use their computers and they think they're getting help. Meanwhile, somebody's hacking into their machines. You know, we all have, you know, those mothers that are techno retards. I hope my mom is not watching this, but get what I'm saying, right? So that was captivating enough for me to overlook a lot of these plot holes. Besides, it's an action movie. They're gonna need to, you know, make the guy look invincible in some way, shape, or form. But in real life, one bullet and that dude is gone, truth be told. And here, Jason Statham was simply in his element. I loved him in this role. He was perfect. This was an example. Sorry about that, guys. Camera did its thing again. Anyway, so where were we? I was talking about Jason Statham and how I loved him in this role. If you've ever seen Jason Statham in a deadpan role, this was his deadpanest of roles. In fact, Jason Statham should just be, you know, he should just be a typecast actor. In fact, he is. Whereby he just acts in these deadpan roles where he's just this vigorous, staunch brute, you know, and he's just serious most of the time. I mean, he's like that in the what's it called? What's that Sylvester Stallone movie called? Disposables. What's it called? Expendables. Yeah. He was like that in the Expendables. He was like that in all the Transporter movies. He was like that in Fast and the Furious franchise. He was like that in Hobbs and Shaw. That's Jason Statham. But this role, I think it was a way more serious role because it wasn't too over the top. It was well anchored, and it was the example of perfect casting in as far as casting is concerned. Not like Kevin Hart in the movie Lift. And with that, we lift off to the next segment. Song of the Week. Song of the Week, we've got the brilliant group called Mulanationgroup. And it was started by, I would like to think, by Script Mula. Now, Script Mula, if anybody knows me, they know I have been speaking about Script Mula for the longest, and I am wondering why this man has not reached the level that I believe he's supposed to have reached. I mean, we're talking somebody with the skill set of, okay, not like, because he doesn't sing like K-Chaps, but you know, like raw talent. K-Chaps, you think of that. Mile, you think of him. Who else? Raw talent. Michael Maggs. Holy 10, don't be mad at me. I'm talking about that. Script Mula is just raw talent. He gave us the album, The Scripian. He gave us The Scripian 2. And off The Scripian 2, he gave us the classic song called Chipo. Link in the description below. But that's not even the song I'm talking about. Because this past week, he dropped another song called Machinda, but he was under Mulanationgroup. It wasn't just him, it was him and his crew, and this song comprised of Greg, and Greg is the one who sang the hook for Chipo. He was on the Machinda song as well, and it came with a beautiful video. We had Greg on it, we had Maxi Boy, Munashe, Hooksmith, and Script Mula himself. So Machinda is pretty much a word that means men. It means men, and it's a struggle song where they're talking about the struggles that men go through in order to feed their families, in order to make sure that they barricade their loved ones from, you know, all sorts of things like poverty and stuff like that. It's pretty much talking about the black tag that the man has to carry in the family. That's what the song is about. The video is my goodness. The video is so captivating. The hook itself is so captivating. I mean, I play this song for my wife, and my wife it's a Shona song. My wife can barely speak Shona. She understands some words, but she totally loved the song. She's actually one of the gauges that I use when it comes to these songs, because a lot of these songs, a lot of people say a song will not go international if you sing it or if you rap it in your local language, which I do not believe is true. I think music transcends linguistic barriers. I mean, look at songs like the Hey Macarena. What are they saying in that song? I'll give you 20 marks to explain to me in 4 pages what those guys are talking about. Nobody knows. In fact, there's a rumor that that language was completely made up. But anyway, back to Script Mula and Mula Nation gang. These guys, I think you just need to give them a shot and listen to their music. I've heard their track do rounds on radio, and I don't know what's going on with radio these days, but I feel like you guys are really letting down proper talent. And I think this was also a discussion that was brought about by my friend Plot Marco and other friends of mine on Facebook after we saw this on Star FM. I'm not going to waste any more time. Star FM, you can do better. This is utter nonsense. Script Mula, Mula Nation. The song is Machinda. That's the song of the week today. And that also brings us to the end of today's episode of Gloves Off ZW. I'm Brian Willis, no relation to Bruce. If you want to do any business with us, the email is right there. T-shirts are there for sale, $15 a pop. We got new t-shirts coming in next week. We will be launching them throughout the week, and you can choose whatever colors that you want. If you want to make an order, again, you can contact us on Facebook, on email, on Twitter, on X. Twitter and X is the same thing. On Instagram. Yeah, you can do that. I'm Brian Willis. I already said that, but I still have no relation to Bruce since the last time I said that. This is Gloves Off, and I'm out. Can this work as a... Yeah, this one will work as a... What's it called? Thumbnail. Yeah, this will be today's thumbnail. I'm out, guys.